Hello, I'm Mr. Lozano, and today's video we're going to be focusing on dividing a decimal by a whole number. This video goes out to a special little Vandenberg that's learning math on dividing decimals by whole numbers. Let's go and begin. So first of all, it's important to know the terms that we're going to be using today. The first one is called dividend. That's called dividend. That's the first number that you're seeing when you're seeing division of two numbers. The first number is dividend, and that goes inside the house. It goes inside the fraction bar. Okay, I like to call that inside the house. All right. The second number is what we call the divisor. The divisor that goes outside the house. That goes outside the house. So again, the dividend, it goes inside the house, and the divisor goes outside the house. And essentially what we're doing is we're figuring out how many times can the divisor go into the dividend. All right, go into the dividend. Now when you start throwing decimals, maybe there'll be a decimal here, or here, or here. There'll be different decimals. And because we're dividing by whole numbers, wherever that decimal is, you're just going to take right to the top. Right to the top. If it's there, then you put it right to the top, just like that. Maybe the decimal will be right here. Bring it right to the top. Just float it on top. Okay? All right, beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about long division. The first step is to always divide. Then we multiply, subtract, and then bring down. And then we repeat if necessary. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the numbers. We have 5.6 divided by 8. 5.6 divided by 8. Let me draw my fraction bar here. 5.6 divided by 8. The first number goes inside the house. That is our dividend. Let's go ahead and write down 5.6. Okay. The second number is our divisor. Let's put the divisor on the outside. First thing I want you to think about is, well, we're dividing by a whole number, which means we can bring the decimal straight up. Bring the decimal straight up. Okay? Bring the decimal straight up there. So now we have 8. We have to think about 8 going into the first number. So 8 goes into the first number. How many times can 8 go into 5? How many times can 8 go into 5? Now I want you to think about that. Can we fit 8 and put it into 5? Can we fit 8 into 5? No, 5 is too small. We can't put a big number into a small number. So that's not going to work. So we're going to write down a 0 here, a 0. So 0 point something. So now that didn't work, let's go ahead and divide into 56. Can 8 go into 56? Yes, it can. And I want you to think how many times it can fit in there. Hopefully you said 7. Hopefully you said 7. 8 goes into 56 7 times. 7 times. 8 times 7 is 56. So we divided. Let's go ahead and multiply now. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 7 is 56. All right. We multiplied. Let's go ahead and subtract. 56 minus 56 is 0. And guess what? There's nothing to bring down. We're done. The answer is 0.7. 0.7. All right, let's try another one. We have 7.2 divided by 9. 7.2 divided by 9. Dividend, that goes inside the house. I'm going to write down my 7.2. There's my fraction bar. The divisor goes on outside the house. There we go. Decimal goes right to the top. Right to the top. Just straight up. Just straight up. Just like a rocket. Shoot straight up. All right, let's think. Can 9 go into 7? Can 9 go into 7? Hopefully you're thinking, no, 9 is too big. 7 is a smaller number. 9 cannot fit into 7. And in that, you are correct. So we're going to put a 0. Let's go ahead and put a 0 there. Now let's think. Can 9 go into 72? Can 9 go into 72? Yes, it can. How many times? How many times can 9 go into 72? All right, hopefully you said 8 times. 9 times 8 is 72. So 9 goes into 72 8 times. We divided. Let's go ahead and multiply now. Let's take this 9 and multiply it by the 8. 9 times 8 is 72. We multiply. Let's go and subtract. 72 minus 72 is 0. There's nothing to bring down because we are done. We are done. Very good. The answer is 0.8. Let's move on to the next one. Ooh, so this one's going to be a little bit longer. We have 25.35. Let's go ahead and write that out. 25.35. inside the house. And we have 5 as a divisor. Dividend is 25.35 and 5 is a divisor, just like that. Okay. So, can 5 go into 2? Can 5 go into 2? No, 5 cannot go into 2. 5 is too big. 5 is too big. So now we have to start thinking, can 5 go into 25? Can 5 go into 25? 5 can go into 25. How many? You know what? I almost forgot what happens with my decimal. I bet you probably already put it. There we go. Okay, so let's think. Can 5 go into 25? Can 5 go into 25? How many times? 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times, just like that. So we divide it. Let's go ahead and multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. There we go. Let's subtract. 25 minus 25 is 0. But we have some numbers to bring down. Let's go ahead and bring down these numbers. Let's go ahead and bring down these numbers. So I like to draw my arrow just for the next number there. Okay, so now we have 3. 3. Okay, so it looks like we divided, multiplied, subtracted, bring down. Let's start again. Only this time we're going to say, how many times can this 5 go into the 3? Can the 5 go into the 3? No, 5 is too big for 3, so we're going to write down 0. We're going to write down 0. All right, we divided. Let's multiply now. Can 5 times 0? 5 times 0 is 0. Let's subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. Okay, we subtracted. Let's go ahead and bring down the next number all the way down. 5. Okay, now let's start again. 5. Can 5 go into 35? How many times? How many times can 5 go into 35? All right, hopefully you said 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Oops, let me do that in white color. There we go. Now let's multiply. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract, and we get 0. We get 0. Sorry, I think I cut out. There we go. 0. Yeah. Okay, so that means 5 goes into, or 25.35 divided by 5 is 5.07. 5.07. All right, next one. We have 21.7 divided by 7. All right, this is our dividend. So we're going to go 21.7 divided by our divisor 7. Okay, let's think. Can 7, oh, our decimal. I'm forgetting to put my decimal. That should be the first thing you do. Put the decimal up there. Can 7 go into 2? Can 7 go into 2? No, it can't. 2 is too small. So no, it cannot go into 2. But can 7 go into 21? Yes, that we can do. How many times can 7 go into 21? 3. So we divided. 7 goes into 21 3 times. Beautiful. Division. Now let's do multiplication. 7 times 3 is 21. We multiply. Let's go ahead and subtract now. 21 minus 21. Well, that's 0. Now let's go ahead and bring down our 7. Let's bring down our 7. Now let's divide. Can 7 go into 7? Yes, absolutely. Goes in there once. Now let's multiply. Let's take this 1. Let's take this 1, multiply it by the 7. We get 7. Let's subtract, and we get 0. So the answer there is 3.1. 3.1. Okay, now we have 14.4 divided by 12. So I'm going to go ahead and write it out. Now, if you think you can do this, I want you to pause this video and go ahead and go ahead and start dividing and see if you get the same answer as I do. Okay. So we have 14.4 as our dividend. There we go, and 12 on the outside, just like that. Okay. So can 12 go into 14? Can 12 go? Well, I keep on forgetting my decimal. There we go. Can 12 go into 1? No, it cannot. 12 cannot go into 1. But it can go into 14. How many times can it go into 14? it can go in there once. It can go in there once. So we're going to say once. 12 goes into 14 once. Now we multiply. We multiply 12 times the 1. That's going to be 12. Let's go ahead and subtract. We get 2. Bring down our 4. There we go. How many times can 12 go into 24? Hopefully you said twice. 12 goes into 24 twice. Go to multiply now. 12 times 2, 24. Subtract. And we get 0. Looks like 14.4 divided by 12 is 1.2. Alright, we have 96.16 divided by 8. Let's go ahead and try this one now. We have 96.16 in the house, 8 outside the house. Alright, so how many times can 8 go into 9? Well, it goes in there once. It goes in there once. Okay, let's multiply now. 8 times 1 is 8. Subtract. It's going to be 1. Now let's bring down our 6. 8 goes into 16 twice. Twice. And you know what? I forgot my decimal again. Why do I keep forgetting my decimal? There it goes. Okay, hopefully you're not forgetting your decimal like I am. Alright, the easy thing is that the decimal, you can just always put up, just shoot straight up, right above that division line. Alright, so now that we brought down the number, let's go ahead and think. Okay, how many times can 8 go into 16? How many times can 8 go into 16? And 8 goes into 16 twice. 8 goes into 16 twice. 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So I go ahead and write down 16. Subtract. We get 0. Let's go ahead and bring down this next number. Oh, wait. I think I made a little mistake. Let's try this one again. Let's try this one again here. I'm going to erase this stuff. Let's try this one again. I think I made a little mistake. I think I overdid the numbers. So let's try this again. So I have the decimal up here. 8 goes into 9 once. 8 goes into 9 once. Okay, we multiply. Subtract. Bring down the 6. There we go. 8 goes into 16 twice. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. We get 0. Bring down the 1. There we go. Bring down the 1. Okay, I think I had just put another 2 there for some reason. Alright, how many times can 8 go into 1? Well, 8 can't go into 1. 8 is too big. We're going to put a 0 there. It's going to multiply. 8 times 0 is 0. Let's subtract. Well, 1 minus 0 is just going to be 1. Bring down our 6. 16. 8 goes into 16 2 times. 8 goes into 16 2 times. 8 times 2 is 16. And if we had 16 minus 16, that'll give us 0. So 96.16 divided by 8 is 12.02. Alright, last one here. We have 60.18 divided by 2. 60.18 divided by 2. So we have 60.18 divided by 2. So there I go. I didn't forget the decimals down. Let's think. How many times can 2 go into 6? How many times can 2 go into 6? 2 goes into 6. How many times? 3. 3 times. 3 times. Let's go ahead and multiply now. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. Let's go ahead and bring down the next 0. Can 2 go into 0? Can 2 go into 0? No, 2 cannot go into 0. So we're going to write down 0. Let's go ahead and multiply. 2 times 0 is 0. Let's bring down our 1 now. Or actually, let's subtract. We get 0. Let's bring down the 1 now. 2 times 0, 1. Well, that's just going to be... how many times can 2 go into 0, 1? How many times can 2 go into 0, 1? That's going to be 0. That's going to be 0. 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down the 8, and we get 18. How many times can 2 go into 18? 9 times. And then 2 times 9 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. So the answer is 30.09. 30.09. If you'd like for me to go over more problems, just let your dad know, and I'll be happy to do more problems with you. Hope this helps. Bye-bye.